Okay, Mark, so throughout the year, we were talking about Scottie Scheffler and Scottie Scheffler needing a victory. Scottie Scheffler had a good season, but didn't have that victory. 5 top 10s and 8 starts. But man, he broke through. And he broke through in a big way. 8-shot victory. This was dominant, wasn't it?
It wasn't a surprise to any of us, right?
Yeah.
We all had him going into the Byron Nelson. He was all on our fantasy teams for obvious reasons. He was the class of the field, but beyond the class of the field, beyond the fact that he's world #1 and what he did last year, I mean, we were joking about it so far all season on Golf Talk Canada, the Scottie slump, right?
Yeah.
He goes 8 for 8. Worst finish is a tie for 25th. I mean, that's what we're calling a slump. He's second in strokes gained total, second in scoring average. I mean, he's right there just on the heels of Rory McIlroy. What he's missing was, that 4 days, putting together 4 days of golf with that one win. You've been speaking about it all season on Golf Talk Canada. You're saying he's got to get over Saturday, that scoring slump on Saturday. Well, 66 on Saturday, kept the pedal down. I mean, he was just tremendous from tee to green. It's funny, he lipped out for so many little chips around the greens. I thought his short game was on point all week, but statistically speaking, if you were looking for one category where you go, what might improve here just a bit, it would have been strokes gained around the green. But I mean, we're nitpicking, are we not?
We're really nitpicking about strokes gained around the green, but one thing that we spoke all about last year was the putting switch, right? And heading into last week, Scheffler was 44th in strokes gained putting. Big improvement still from last year, but last week he was 6th in the same category. If Scottie Scheffler is putting well, how terrified should the rest of the PGA Tour be with a guy who hits the ball as well as he does, putting somewhat decently too?
That's what happens that's what happens to win 9 times.
Yeah.
Right? If you're going to putt well, you're going to putt decent. Scottie Scheffler wins 9 times because he's that much better than everybody else tee to green. And I would put a little asterisk beside Rory McIlroy when I say everybody else, because I think Rory's the only player on the planet that, if you're truly going to bring your A-plus game, he's the only one that can really go against him. With all due respect to Xander Schauffele and all due respect to Bryson DeChambeau, Scottie Scheffler, there's just no weaknesses, and the strength between his ears. And, unless you've played competitive golf, unless you've been inside the ropes, this next statement might sound ridiculous, but one of the hardest things to do in the world of professional golf, or any golf at any competitive level, is play golf with a lead and go to bed with big leads. It is so hard to close the door. We watch guys crumble. Look at the stats of 54-hole leaders. Look at the stats of 36-hole, etc., especially guys that are sleeping on it for the first time. To be able to lead, put your pedal down, and crush the field like that, that's a statement win, Adam. This is a statement win heading into major championship season. We've only got one major behind us, right? We got 3 majors and a FedEx Cup to give out. The season is still in front of us. Player of the year is still in front of us. Scottie Scheffler is going to have 3 or more wins at the end of this year. I would be shocked if we don't. I would be shocked if there's not a major coming.
And we'll get to the PGA Championship here shortly, because that's coming up next week here, which is hard to believe. Scottie Scheffler did finish 4th at the Masters. But for Scottie Scheffler now, Mark, big picture, this is 138 weeks atop the world ranking. That's the 3rd most all-time here, only behind a guy named Tiger and a guy named Greg Norman. So historically speaking, this is an unbelievable run here by Scottie Scheffler, A, in terms of consistency, and B, in terms of dominance, isn't it?
The only player other than possibly Rory McIlroy that can stop this run is Scottie Scheffler, right? Is like, who's going to get in his way? Everything is so simplistic. There are no swing thoughts. There are no swing changes. He goes to the range looking for feels. He goes to the range looking for shapes. If I can hit it in the windows I want to hit it in, I go play golf. Short game, putting. He's got that little pencil grip going now. He's going to stick with that on putts, inside 20, inside 15 feet when he's looking to make a putt. His lag putting's underrated skill set. That's why he plays so well at Augusta. His lag putting's so beautiful, which will suit him well through major championship season. I don't see anybody being able to get in the way of this unless that person's Rory McIlroy, and they're still, again, he's got this cushion. He's winning golf tournaments again. I don't see it coming to an end anytime remotely soon.
And we spoke at length as well about the Christmas Day ravioli incident.
Is it we settled on ravioli?
I
It was
think
lasagna,
so.
it was
Like,
ravioli.
Scottie, first of all, what are we doing here? But it's almost like he's shaken off the rust now, right? And now that he is fully in the season, after the RBC Heritage, he finished T8, he said he was close. But now that he has the victory, what's the over-under here? Is it 2.5? Is it 3.5 for more additional victories the rest of the season, do you think?
To me, we've got a lot of golf in front of us, including a playoff. I put the wins on this year at 3.5, and then you'll go from there.
Yeah.
We've got to remember, we missed a large part of the spring where he normally does very well in the Florida swing, and I do think it was, to your point, the ravioli incident. which kind of, maybe staggered the start of his year a bit and put him a little bit behind the 8 ball. It took him a little longer to kind of catch his stride. We're in his stride now. That performance at the Byron Nelson, just lapping the field, was stunning. So now that we're in stride, he's going to go toe-to-toe with Rory McIlroy, who's in full flight. Bryson DeChambeau, who just won on the Live Series. Xander Schauffele starting to get his season, looks like it's getting going with multiple good starts in a row. So we're coming into that stretch. So 3.5, I'll ask you, you want the over or the under? 3.5 wins, Scottie Scheffler. That means he needs 3 more wins. For the over, he needs 3 more.
Yeah, I'll take the under. I mean, he had an historically great season last year. We've seen these signs of frustration. The parity in professional golf is actually improving too. So I'll take the under, but it's going to be close.
If I was going to move that number to 2.5, would you take the over? Are you sitting
on
3?
I'm sort of at 3. I think 3 is the number. Now, Mark, before we go to break, we had the conversation last week on the show. Rory McIlroy last week was the betting favorite heading into the PGA Championship next week. That's the first time Scottie Scheffler hasn't been the pre-tournament betting favorite in 2 or 3 years. After Scheffler's win last week, he is now the betting favorite to the PGA Championship. Does FanDuel have it right? Should Scottie be the favorite at Quail Hollow, or should the Masters champion Rory McIlroy be the favorite?
This is such a hard question. I think it's a pick'em, but I would give just a fractional nod to Rory, only because of horses for courses. He's a 4-time winner at Quail Hollow, Rory McIlroy. This is a home game. So if this was the Chiefs versus the Bills in the AFC Championship and it was being played in Kansas City, it's a 1 to 2 point favorite, home field advantage for Kansas City. Not the full 3 points, and if we're playing it in Buffalo, if Kevin Sylvester is watching, our friend from Buffalo, Kev, if we're playing it in Buffalo, I give the 2 points to the Bills. I mean, that's how close we're talking here.
All this is setting up for is quite the duel at the PGA Championship next week.